regarding Rule 4. I have respect for you, Mr. Chairman. We've served together for more than a decade, but this is outrageous. This is unacceptable. This is wrong. It is wrong. And why? Why? What is the rush to take another half hour to listen to people? What is the rush? What are we afraid of, Mr. Chairman? What are we afraid of? I do not understand why senators can't debate a nominee as we've done when both sides have been in the majority to take the time. What is the thing that you are so afraid of from hearing from my Senate colleagues? This is a violation of the precedents of this committee. We're not trying some stunt here to try to force a 2-hour rule like you all did when you were in the minority. We just want to be heard before a controversial vote.
This was one of the most chaotic, heartbreaking, and revealing moments on Capitol Hill in recent memory. Senator Cory Booker did something that reminded everyone what courage looks like in a broken system, what integrity sounds like when surrounded by silence, and what it means when democracy is forced to walk out the room because it's being denied the right to even speak.
Stamp. Neither the committee nor the judiciary is well served by our learned and servile helplessness. I yield back.
I will now go to voting because we have competing markups and other committees and people have to leave here soon. We'll go to Bove's nomination. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Chairman, point of personal privilege.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman,
Point of
according to
personal-
Rule 4 of the committee, we have the right to continue to debate this nomination.
No.
I'm invoking Rule 4 of the committee. We have the right to debate this nomination.
You're out of order.
I'm seconding
Mr.
Senator
Chairman.
Booker's demand for a vote on his request to hear from the whistleblower.
Mr. Chairman, you should at least acknowledge my Rule 4 point of order.
You're out of order.
I don't understand this. What are you afraid of about even debating this?
by proxy.
Putting things on the record, hearing from every senator, dear God, that's what our obligations are. It's to state our reasons for debate. At least address the Rule 4 point of order that we're calling. There's no need to rush this. What are we afraid of? We're not pressing for the 2-hour rule like you all did when you were in the minority. We're simply asking for a credible amount of time to air our concerns before the vote. We respect each other in this committee. We respect the understanding that we have things to say. But yet we're doing this in a way that makes no sense to me. And it makes no sense to me because we're not trying to do things like force the committee to close or force a 2-hour rule. This is about understanding that people on this side have a responsibility to state their issues.
You're out of order?
Mr. Sir, you could call me out of order because this is out of order. This undermines the basic decency of this committee. Yes, maybe overrule a Rule 4, but at least address the Rule 4 point of order that senators were elected to debate issues and debate nominees. This is absolutely insane.
Hey, you're
what is the rush?
interrupting.
Sir, I am interrupting because you're interrupting a regular point of order. At least address my point of order. I have the right to do that by the rules of this committee. If you want to overrule the rules of committee, then do so. But this is not in any way in order. You are obligated to address a point of order according to the rules of this committee. You could overrule me by a Senate vote. You're violating your own rules. The parliamentarian has been clear about this. The parliamentarian has been clear. You could overrule the point of order I'm doing, but you have to follow the precedents and procedures of this committee. This is outrageous that you're not allowing senators to have their fair say before a controversial nominee is being done. This is unbelievable. This is unjust. This is wrong. It is the further deterioration of this committee's integrity. With a person like this, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of hearing from Chris Coons? From hearing from one of my colleagues? From hearing from Adam Schiff? What is the fear here? Have at least the decency to have a vote on my point of order regarding Rule 4. I have respect for you, Mr. Chairman. We've served together for more than a decade, but this is outrageous. This is unacceptable. This is wrong. It is wrong. And why? Why? What is the rush to take another half hour to listen to people? What is the rush? What are we afraid of, Mr. Chairman? What are we afraid of? I do not understand why senators can't debate a nominee as we've done when both sides have been in the majority, to take the time. What is the thing that you are so afraid of from hearing from my Senate colleagues? This is a violation of the precedents of this committee. We're not trying some stunt here to try to force a 2-hour rule like you all did when you were in the minority. We just want to be heard before a controversial vote. Sir, this is wrong, and you know it. You are a person of integrity. How could you be doing this? At least have a vote on my point of order. Sir, with all appeals to your decency, with all appeals to your integrity, with all appeals to past jurisdiction and past precedent, why are you doing this? This is outrageous.
This is a kangaroo court. That's all we have here,
This
Mr.
is
Chairman.
wrong. To violate your own rules without going by the mandates of the parliamentarian. This is unbelievable. There's a way to do this. If you want to force this through, if you want to ram this through, there's a way to do it in accordance to the rules as spelled out by the parliamentarian. It is simple. It is clear. There's a pathway to achieve what you're trying to achieve. But sir, this lacks decency. It lacks decorum. It shows that you do not want to simply hear from your colleagues. This is absolutely wrong. And sir, this is to me one of those moments where we are not showing common respect for each other on both sides. I have sat here when we were in the majority and listened to my colleagues' arguments, listened to their passionate statements, and then we voted. This is not that. This is us simply trying to rush through one of the most controversial nominees we've had under this presidential administration. Sir, God bless America. You are a good man. You are a decent man. Why are you doing this? What is Donald Trump saying to you that are making you do something which is violating the decorum of this committee, the rules of this committee, the decency and the respect that we have each other to at least hear each other out? I've sat through so many long speeches of my colleagues, heard their objections, listened with sincerity to try to see what their arguments are. But we are not doing that. Sir, this is wrong, and you know it. There are some people on this committee who are the least firebrand people, and they've walked out. Some of the least controversial people in the Senate, some of the people that worked the hardest to find bipartisan common ground have just walked out of this committee. And you don't even seem to care, but I know you do. I know your heart, Senator Grassley. This is wrong. I know the kind of person you are, and you know this is wrong. This is not necessary. What is another half an hour to allow senators to be heard? It's what the Constitution mandates. It's the ideals of the United States Senate. The world's most deliberative body should take a decent amount of time to deliberate. But here we're not doing that. Here we are jamming this through with some sense of false urgency. It's one thing not to hear from whistleblowers. It's another thing not to hold another hearing. But to not even allow my colleagues to have their moment to speak against this justice, it's just wrong. And I know you know this. I know you know this. The only time this rule has ever been overturned by both parties was done when one minority was trying to pull some stunt to stop the committee from hearing. This is not that. This is not the 2-hour rule. This is a basic element of the ideals of this committee, sir. It is a basic understanding of having debate and deliberation. It's a basic understanding of we can listen to each other even if we disagree, that we should have time and space and a forum to listen. Sir, this is just wrong in every way. It is wrong in every single way. This is an abuse of power. It's an undermining of the well-being and the integrity of this Senate and this committee that I for so long I've been so honored to be a part of. This is wrong, sir, and I join with my colleagues in leaving. This is a sham.
Vote,
this is wrong.
We're
better than this.
You just witnessed a meltdown, not of one senator, but of the Senate itself. Booker's voice was shaking, not with theatrics, but with urgency. He wasn't asking for a filibuster. He wasn't stalling. He was demanding what any functioning democracy should offer: the right to speak, the right to debate, the right to be heard before confirming a deeply controversial judicial nominee, Emil Bove, a man with clear connections to Trump-aligned legal circles and a history of partisan rulings. But Chairman Chuck Grassley didn't want to hear it. He didn't just ignore Booker, he bulldozed past him, past the Senate's own rules, specifically Rule 4, which explicitly gives senators the right to debate nominations fully before a vote is forced. Booker tried. He begged, respectfully, passionately, to simply allow a vote on his point of order. And when that was denied, he invoked the core of what makes the Senate the world's most deliberative body, its moral responsibility to listen, to deliberate, to argue, to represent the people, not just the party. Instead, what we saw was a committee chair so committed to rushing this nominee through that he refused to even acknowledge the rules, wouldn't even look Booker in the eye, wouldn't even pretend to justify the silence. That's how far we've fallen. And so the Democrats walked out, not as a stunt, but as a statement, because when the rules are stripped away, when voices are silenced, when integrity is denied, there's only one move left to make. You walk. You walk, so history knows you didn't sit silently while justice was hijacked. This wasn't about procedural delay. This was about preventing a rubber stamp of a nominee without scrutiny, a nominee whose record demanded debate, a nominee being pushed through by a party that, not long ago, demanded time, debate, and deference when they were in the minority. The irony? Grassley himself complained in 2023 when Democrats moved to vote on Biden's nominees without giving Republicans time to speak. But now, he's doing the exact same thing, without shame, without acknowledgement, without any consistency at all. This is why trust in institutions is collapsing, because we see the rules changing not based on principle, but based on power. When you're in the majority, you rewrite the rules. When you're in the minority, you cry foul. There's no integrity, no honor, just cold calculation. And that's exactly what Booker called out, not with venom, but with sorrow. He knows Grassley, he respects him, but he couldn't stay silent while his colleagues, people like Chris Coons, Richard Blumenthal, and Adam Schiff, were denied even the chance to speak on the record. Let's be clear, Rule 4 exists to protect debate, not to delay it forever, but to allow senators to be heard, to voice concerns about nominees who could hold lifetime power. Judges matter. Judicial integrity matters. But apparently, not enough for Chairman Grassley. And so this hearing ended not with consensus, but with collapse. Democrats walked out. Republicans pushed through votes with proxy ballots. And the American people, once again left with a nominee rushed through in darkness because open debate was too inconvenient for the majority. So here's the real question. What are they afraid of? Why the rush? Why silence your colleagues unless you're scared of what they might say? Cory Booker asked that, and nobody answered. That silence speaks volumes. This moment wasn't just about Emil Bove. It was about the integrity of the Senate. And if this is what it looks like to confirm judges now, rushed, gagged, and stripped of transparency, then we all lose. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should nominees be confirmed without debate? Should senators have the right to speak? Or is that just a formality now? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to see what's really happening behind the scenes of our democracy. Because if we don't speak up, if we don't call this out, then silence wins, and we can't afford to be silent anymore.